We're so have crossed that river before, and this is the song we'll be singing forever. United we answer the Tesla call. We raise the Tesla banner high. With our partners we serve for Lord and God. Day to day we strive. Less than is in the labor force. The skills that open doors. Excellence our warmest word. Access to success for everyone. With the power of information. Our values and education. Build a nation. Rain or shine, we keep alive in hopes and dreams. And waters are out this land. Doing the best that we can to make our stand. The task at hand with the power of nation. Proper values and education. Nation. That's the way. Okay, good afternoon everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, I think nanatanan diri ano? Okay, pila ni kabuok karon. Adi day kompleto. So, sige na lang mag-start na ta kay sayang ang oras. Okay, for our topic for today, It's all about object-oriented programming. Sige, familiar ana. Familiar mo ni object-oriented programming?
Wala, sir.
Okay. Mendoza, do you have any idea?
Sir? No, wala ra ba, sir?
Wala mo nag-advance?
Wala.
Post naman ako ni kagahap. How about Mr. Mendoza? Mendoza, Oscar. Okay, so walay tao. Pakalyagan.
Object-oriented programming system is a programming concept that works on the principle of abstraction and encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism.
Okay, so exactly, no? Involves ana sila ni abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation, no? So ato na i-tackle ta sa tagsa kana sila. So what is object-oriented programming? Thank you, Mr. Palyagan. Object-oriented programming system, or OOP, is a programming concept that works on the principles of abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. It allows users to create objects that they want and create methods to handle those objects. The basic concept of OOP is to create objects, reuse them throughout the program, and manipulate these objects to get result. Okay, so ato na ni siyang nabuhat actually itong mga previous topics nato, no? Wala lang nato siya koan gi introduce si OOP. Okay, we have this list of OOP concept in Java. We have class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, association, aggregation, and composition. So, si class, the class is one of the basic concept of OOP, which is a group of similar entities. It is only a logical components and not the physical entity. Okay, let's understand this one of the OOP's concept with example. If you had a class called expensive cars, so it could have object like Mercedes, BMW, Toyota, and etc. So mura siya og nagkuan ka og sa usa ka butang like pariyaan ng bank, no? Caraga Bank. Sa Caraga Bank, unsay mga sub entities niya ato nila. So unsa may mga bangko nga naa diri sa Caraga? We have Land Bank, we have Enterprise Bank, we have BDO, AUB. So ingana, no? I-classify niya kung unsa mga sub entities nga naa na butang sa iya. Example, sa inyo, section, DPTCST man no? DPTCST 1C. So, kinsa tong mga tao sulod ana niya? Okay? So, ana ang iyang kuan ni class. No? Object. An object can be defined as an instance of class, and there can be multiple instances of a class in a program. An object is one of the Java OOP concept which contains both the data and the functions which operates on the data. For example, chair, bike, marker, pen, table, car. So those are object. Okay? Take note that. Inheritance. Inheritance is one of the basic concepts of OOP, in which one object acquires the properties and behaviors of the parent object. It's creating a parent-child relationship between two classes. It offers robust and natural mechanism for the organizing and structure of any software. So, tawag ni siya nga parent-child relationship. So, ma-inherit ni child class ang main class or parent class. No, kung unsay naa dito nga mga object na naa dito sa iya or data. Okay? So ato na i-kuano niya i-demo kung saon. Polymorphism. Now, it refers to one of the OOP concept in Java, which is the ability of a variable object or functions to take on multiple forms. So, for example, in English, the verb run has a different meaning if you use it with a laptop, a foot race, and a business. Here we understand the meaning of a run based on the other words used along with it. Now, the same also applied to polymorphism. So, muna si polymorphism. Abstraction. Abstraction, it is one of the OOP concept in Java, which is an act of representing essential features without including background details. It is a technique of creating a new data type that is suited for a specific application. So let's understand this one of the OOP concept with example. While driving a car, you do not have to be concerned with its internal working. No? Here you just need to concern about parts like steering wheel, gears, accelerator, etc. So, one na si abstraction. Dili na siya, wala siya ingon nga naka-declare, pero hello? Hello?
Sir?
Madungog po ninyo?
Yes, sir. Dungog, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, si abstraction. So, to si abstraction? Sabas?
Abstraction is one of the OOP concepts in Java, which is an act of representing essential features without including background details. It is a technique of creating a new data type that is suited for a specific application. Let's understand this one of the OOP's concepts with example. While driving a car, you do not have to be concerned with its internal working. Sir.
Okay. So mo na si abstraction, no? So tanan mga function, for example aning gi butan ako diri no? Kung mag-drive ka og sakyanan, so naka ang mga functions niya is naka butang sa method like kung saan pag-drive, unsay pamaagi sa pag-change sa gears, saan pag accelerate, no? So dito tanan nakabutang sa method niya. So mo na si abstraction. Ato nang isa-isaon unya pagdiin mo kung unsa na sila. Encapsulation. No, encapsulation, Mr. Edgar. Read.
Encapsulation is one of the best Java OOPs of wrapping the data and code. This OOPs contain the variables of a class are always hidden from other classes. It can only be accessed using elements of their current class. For example, in school, a student cannot exist without a class.
Okay, so si encapsulation is mauna na akong giingon niya. Naa siya yung mga methods nga naa dito ang mga functions. Na pwede nato siya i-access. Association. Makiling. Makiling. Marilo. Nag-lip si Makiling, oh. Lolor.
Yes, sir.
Very.
Association is a relationship between two objects. It is one of the OOP concepts in Java which defines the diversity between objects. In this OOP concept, all objects have their separate life cycle and there is no owner. For example, many students can associate with one teacher while one student can also associate with multiple teachers.
Okay, thank you, Miss Marilo, Miss Lolor. Okay, so mauna si association, no? Duha ka object, naka-associate na siya into one class. So ato na siya, ako na ipakita sa inyo unya. Aggregation. Sangria. Sangria. Michelle.
Aggregation. In this technique, all objects have their separate life cycle. However, there is ownership such that child child object can belong to another parent object. For example, consider class or objects department and teacher. Here our single teacher can belong to multiple departments, but even if we delete the department, the teacher object will never be destroyed.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Sangria. So that is aggregation. Composition. Tambiga.
Composition is a specialized form of aggregation. It is also called this relationship. Child objects do not have their life cycle, so when parent object deletes all child objects will also delete automatically. For that, Let's take an example of house and room. Any house can have several rooms. One room can become part of two different houses. So if you delete the house, room will also be deleted.
Okay, so mao na si composition, no? So dili siya maka sa isa ka balay, you can create multiple uh, rooms, no? But ang room dili siya maka multiple o create og house, no? So if you delete the house, so automatically ma-delete apil si rooms. So ingana ang composition, no? Kung i-delete nimo ang main class, so pag i-delete nimo ang main class, so wala nay pulos si object nimo ang gibuhat. Okay, advantages of OOP or Object-Oriented Programming System. First, OOP concept is in Java offers easy to understand and clear the modular structure for programs. Second, object created for object-oriented programs can be reused in other programs. Thus, it saves significant development costs. Third, large programs are difficult to write, but if the development and designing team follows OOP concept, then they can better design with a minimum flaws. No? Kaupat, it enhance program modularity because every object exists independently. Comparison of OOP with other programming styles with help of an example. Okay, let's understand with example how Java OOP concept are different than the others programming approaches. Programming language can be classified into three primary types. We have unstructured programming language, structured programming language, and OOP. So, this unstructured programming language, the most primitive of all programming language, having sequentially flow of control. No, code is repeatedly throughout the program. While structured programming language has non-sequentially flow of control, use of functional flows for reuse of code. Then, object-oriented programming combines data and action together. Okay, now let's understand these three types with an example. Suppose you want to create a banking software with functions like mag-deposit kag kwarta, mo-withdraw kag kwarta, mo-check kasi mong balance. Diba? Is that how usually kung mo ato mo sa inyong ATM machine, ATM, no? Mo-withdraw ka, mo-deposit ka, or mo-check ka sa imong balance account. Okay, in unstructured programming language, now this is the earliest of all programming language where unstructured programming language, a very elementary code of banking application. In unstructured programming language will have two variables of one account number and another account for another for account balance. Pare nakita niyo sa screen na int account number. So, nakay account number nga 20. Plus, nakay sulod nga account balance nga 100 pesos. Karon, suppose you're supposing to deposit of $100 is made. So, account balance, account is equal to account balance. So, nagbutang ka og 100 pesos. Next, you need to display account balance. So, magbalik na pod ka. Butang na pod nimo ang yung account number. Tapos, i-display ang imong balance sa imong bank account. Now, the amount of $50 withdrawn, nag-withdraw na pod ka og 50 pesos. Again, you need to display the account balance. Imo na po daw i-check. So, saan na po iwahaton? Imo na po i-input ang account number, then account balance. Mo display na dayon kung pila ang nabilin. Karon, this is the how unstructured programming, no? Nga balik-balik, no? It always repeated the sequence of the code. So, vulnerable kayo ni siya sa bugs, no? At the same time, costing kaayo na isa sa programmer. No, dako kay magasto ani sa sige og code, no? Again, pag ingani ang imong code structure nimo, grabe ka time consuming. It's a waste of time. So, dapat you need to refine your code, no? You need to structure it properly. So, for any further deposit or withdrawal operation, you will code repeat the same lines again and again. So, mo na kung yung ganina. Balik-balik. No, taas kayo mong code niya, maora yapon ang labas. So, structured programming, while si structured programming, with the arrival of structured programming, repeated lines on the code were put into structures such as functions or methods. Whenever needed, a simple call to the function is made. So, si structured programming is naa siya gitawag nga functions or method. Nga pwede nato siya tuwagon na lang ang iyang mga functions. Dili bitaw kailangan niya ibutang gyud dito sa main class ang atong mga codes, no? So ato na lang siyang tawagon sa pamaagi ani. So in account number, nasa 20 pesos, nasa 20 account number, no? Nga tapos na siya balance 100. So account balance nag-deposit siya og 100, tapos iyang naponggi balancing query, no? So instead nga ingon ani kanina kita mo aning blue nga gi rectangulan, so pili na mo siya na iwalaon, no? Ibutang nimo sa method or function. Magbuhat kag method ug function nga gitawag nga void show data. Tapos na dito si kaninga code. Tapos tawagon na nimo si show data, no? Siya nga nga pamaagi. So karon nag-withdraw na pud ka og 50 pesos. So imo na pud siyang show data kung pila ang nabilin sa imong kwarta. So ingana ka define ang imong code. Karon sa kani nga pamaagi nataw na dayon si object-oriented programming. No? In our program, we are dealing with data for performing specific operations, no, on the data. In fact, having data and performing certain operation on that data is very basic characteristic in any software program. Experts in software programming thought of combining the data and operations. Therefore, the birth of object-oriented programming, which is commonly called OOP. The same code in object-oriented programming languages will have the same data and some action performed on that data. Okay, this is the example. Class account. Na kay class ngalan nga account. Nagbutang ka og saman int account number og account balance. Karon sa imong function or sa imong method na kay gingalan nga method nga show data. System.out.print account number plus account number. Tapos system.out.print account balance then account balance. No? So asa nato nagikuha si account number o account balance? kundi nasa imong class account nga gi-declare. No? Kung makita nyo diha. So kung unsay mugawas dito sa imong account number, wag ito'y mo display po diri sa imong method. Example, imong account numbers na kay account number nga 20. Na kay balance sulod nga 100. Tawag ko nato na siya nga data. Karon, account balance nag deposit ka og 100. Tapos gitawag nimo ang method nga show data. No? Kaning show data gitawag na siya nga action. Show data, unsay naa sa show data? Kani, no? Iyang gitawag ang imong account number og ang balance. So mo display na siya. Karon nag-withdraw ka og 50 pesos. Karon gitawag na pod nimo sa method nga show data. So, mugawas na mo display na pod si imong account number at the same time imong sud sa imong account. Okay? So, mao na si OOP. No, by combining data and action, we will get many advantages over structural programming. No? So we have mao na sila ni abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So ato na silang tagsa-tagsaon. So tan-awan ning video nga akong ipakita sa inyo ang concept ni OOP.
A very elementary code of the banking applications in unstructured programming language will have two variables for one account number and another for account balance. Suppose a deposit for $100 is made. Next, you will obviously show the latest account balance. Now the amount of $50 is withdrawn. Again, you show the latest account balance. In fact, for any further deposit or withdrawal operations, you would program the same steps again and again. Here, the code for display of account number and account balance are exactly the same, and it is repeated throughout the program. Such repetition is a waste of programming efforts and increases coding costs and possibility of coding errors. With the advent of structured programming, common lines of your code were put in a structure called functions or methods. And wherever required, a simple call to their function was made. Now, if you can examine closely throughout the program, we are dealing with data or performing certain actions on the data. In fact, having data and performing operations on the data is the very basic characteristics of any software program. Thought leaders in software development came up with an idea to combine data and actions together. Hence the birth of object-oriented programming, commonly called OOPS. The same code in OOPS will have some data and the actions to be performed on that data. By this combining of data and action, we have several advantages over structured programming, namely abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. We will learn them in detail in succeeding tutorials.
Okay. So, maoto si OOP. Karon, dili na puta kang abstraction. So, what is abstraction? Audrey, Natalia, you. Please read. Audrey. Audrey? -5 ha, basta di makatubag. Salon. Jeffy.
Hello sir, madungog ko sir.
Dungog ka.
Abstraction is the concept of object-oriented program that shows only essential attributes and hides unnecessary information. The main purpose of abstraction is hiding the unnecessary details from the user. Abstraction is selecting data from a larger pool to show only relevant details of the object to the user. It helps in reducing program complexity and error. It is one of the most important concepts of OOP. Thank you, sir.
Hello? Jeffy?
Hello, sir. Okay, sir. Hello, sir.
Okay.
Mana to, sir? Basta na ako.
Okay, so that is abstraction, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's study abstraction in OOP, no, with examples. Suppose you want to create a banking application and you are asked to collect all the information about your customer. So there are chances that you will come up with the following information about the customer. So it seems like this, no? So kung ano yung pangalan, address, contact number, tax information, favorite food, favorite movie, favorite actor, and favorite band. Okay. We might not need all these customer information for a banking application. So dili naman siya necessary kanina naka naka red nga box, no? So you need to select only the useful information for your banking application from that pool. So the data must like name, address, tax information, etc. So make sense for banking application, which is an abstraction example in OOP. So kato lang mga necessary. Ayo itong mga first crush, first girlfriend, first boyfriend, first love. So dili na siya include sa imong pagkuha og data. No, kay dili na siya mga necessary. Kato lang mga necessary data. So, example, this one, full name, address, contact number, tax information. No, since we have fetched and removed selected customer information from a larger pool, the process is referred as abstraction in OOP. So, however, the same information once extracted can be used for a wide range of applications. For instance, you can use the same data for hospital application, job port application, government database, no, etc. with a little or no modification. Hence, it becomes your master data. No, this is an advantage of abstraction in OOP. So, modo C, abstraction. Okay, difference between abstraction and encapsulation. Abstraction is object-oriented programming, solves that issues at the design level, while encapsulation solves the implementation level. Abstraction is about hiding unwanted details while showing most essential information, while encapsulation means binding the code and data into a single unit. Data abstraction in Java allows focusing on what the information object must contain, while encapsulation means hiding the internal details or mechanics of how an object does something for security reasons. So, mo na ang ilang uh, ni abstraction and encapsulation. Si abstract class can have both abstract and non-abstract methods, while the interface can have only abstract method. So abstract class does not support multiple inheritance, but while interface it supports multiple inheritance. Abstract class can provide the simple implementation of the interface, while interface it cannot provide the implementation of the abstract class. An abstract class can have protected and abstract public method, while interface can have only public abstract method. While the abstract class can have a final static or static final variable with an any access specifier, while the interface can only have public static final variable. So, unsa din si abstract class? No, is a type of a class in OOP that declare one or more abstract method. These classes can have abstract method as well as concrete methods. A normal class cannot have abstract methods. An abstract class is a class that contains at least one abstract method. What are abstract methods? Abstract methods is a method that has just the method definition but does not contain implementation. A method without a body is known as abstract. No? So method, it must be declared in an abstract class. The abstract method will never be final because the abstract class must implement all the abstract methods. Advantages of abstraction. The main benefit of using an abstraction in programming is that it allows you to group several related classes as siblings. Abstraction is in object-oriented programming helps to reduce the complexity of the design and implementation process of software. When to use abstract methods and abstract class? Abstract methods are mostly declared where two or more subclasses are also doing the same thing in different way through different implementations. It also extends the same abstract class and offers different implementations of the abstract methods. And abstract classes help you to describe generic types of behaviors and object-oriented programming class hierarchy. It also describes subclasses to offer implementation details of the abstract class. So let me show this video to you. Okay, so mo to see abstraction. No? Okay. So no, to expand our knowledge or kung na tayo ma-confusion, no, we can always use EGM. Stop it. I'm having a class here. No. No? So EGM, what is EGM? No, i-google mo. No? Pili na ka mo search o Google diya. Tapos no? Search nimo is object oriented programming in Java. So naatay mga different ways, no, sa pag-code. Pero I would suggest nga dili ninyo kapihon ang tanan code, kundi you have to understand the code at the same time i-modify ang code, no? So diri sa W3 schools nato na diri ang atong mga sample code sa atong OOP. Example is one. Now in Java, what are classes and objects? Mga akong game kanina, no? Si class is running fruit. Sa fruit nimo na sa fruit ka category is naatay mga sub entities. We have apple, banana, and mango. No? So mo na si class and object. So si class, example, another example, car. We have Volvo, Audi, and Toyota. Muna yung mga sub-entities ni car. So, okay. So, kung ato to sa lain, classes and object. Okay. Example, create a class. So, we have a class here, main. No? So, public class main name mo is natay variable x natay value nga 5. So mag-create tayong kag object, no? Pag-create mo og object na kay method nga himuon, no? Public static void main string args mo natong gibuhat last time, di ba, katong last activity na to. Main, tawag nimo ang main class nimo, tapos nakagibuhat nga object. Ikaw magbuhat ani kung unsa imong ibutang nga pangalan. Diri butan nato is my object is equals new main. Karon system that out that print my object, no, dot x. Asa na to gikuha si x? Kito sa main class na imong gihimo. Pila ang value ni x? 5. So mo display siya og 5. Multiple object. Mo ta kung giingon sa inyo ganina si association, no? You can create multiple object, no? Diri public static void main string nasa method nimo na kay object 1 and object 2. Karon ato siya gi-print si X gamit ang duha ka object, si object 1 and object 2. Gitawag nila ang isa ka variable X nimo. So automatically 5 ang ilang i-input. Okay? Using multiple classes. Kani. Main Java. Sa main Java nimo is mo ning first main class nimo. Main class. Sa main class nimo naa kay variable X is equals to 5. Karon sa second class nimo or subclass nimo naa kay dito nimo gibuhat si method nimo, no? Kung makabantay mo kaganina, ang kani nga code na ano siya dari giusa nato sa isa ka class, no? Karon ang gibuhat nato is gibulag nato siya sa isa. Stop it. Okay. Gibulag nato siya sa main class, no? Gibuhat nato siya as subclass. Karon same code gyapon ang nitabo. Pero ang iyang output is the same. No? 5 gyapon ang iyang gawas. Now, ato i-try sa atong IDE nato. Example, mag-create ta og main class. Main class nato, example, mag-create sa ta og file. My OOP. Himo ta og sa kay loading akong laptop. Ato to siyang sundugon. Naglag na. Okay. So, magbuhat ta og package muna. Tapos natay magbuhat og class. Tawag na to siya nga main. Okay, main class man nato ni siya. So we have now main class. Karon magbuhat ta og subclass. No? Class. We have second. Okay. So natay main class and second class. Now, let's copy the code. Buta na to sa main ni siya. Okay. Save. Tapos ato na po ta sa second. Atong i-copy ni si method nato diri. Okay, so nabutang nato si method, no? So na siya main, may object. Tapos tawag nato si x. Karon ato iparan gawa si 5. Kung ato i-change po diri ang iyang value, sample 100. So kung ato iparan, so 100 po ang mo gawas. Okay? So daghan ni siya diri pwede ninyo magamit kung gusto ninyo. No? So kung naka-try na mo aning W3 school, please use these tools or resources para maka-cope up mo sa inyong mga exercises na akong ihatag. Okay? Any question?
None so far, sir.
Question? Sabas, Rosemary. Pakaliagan.
Sir, wait. Sir, katong about sa kuan, sir, katong programa to, sir, is coding.
Okay, regarding sa inyong project, guys, kana inyong project is program na siya. Wala din mo na mati atong last depende ninyo nga i-program na ninyo, no? So that make it runnable program kay i-defend na ninyo during final period. Okay? Kumuta na mo unsaon kana atong gipang discuss, mo-apply na siya dito. So since dili man dayon nato na ma-discuss tanan, all you have to do as a students, advanced research, advanced search, no? Naman tayo Google and YouTube.
Dili pa mi magpasa na, sir.
Mag-check nako actually karon, no? Pero kay naamay ni hangyo nga Monday, so Monday na ako mag-check sa 50%. So dapat na progress. Kung unsa tong na-approve nga title ninyo, mao na to na dapat yung sugdan.
Sir, kano sa ang final, sir?
Final na to would be June. Mga third week? Third week
Sir,
ata.
Sir, Lunes na good, sir.
Yes, Lunes. Supposedly karon gani tana pero namin hangyo nga Monday ko, no, kay para daw maka-present. So di na ako pwede ma-extend kay extended na siya. Unsa?
I-present na namo sa imo ha.
Yeah, nakoy mga pangutana. Ana, kung giunsa na niyo pagbuhat.
Sir, mag-consultation po ta, sir.
Okay na, sir.
Wala pa tay consultation karon, no? Kay tawag ani. Tungod lagi ani atong sitwasyon. Yung uban nag-consultation man sila, nag-schedule na sila. Pero sa ato wala pa ko nag-schedule.
Same as kang Ma'am William. Kanang iyang
Hello? Unsa?
same kang Ma'am William or
Si Ma'am Villamor? Nga naman?
kuan iyang wala ang katong consultation dili sa may padton sa school.
Mao lagi. Kay kabulo ba mo sa sitwasyon? Bag-while lang pagta na positiban niya estudyante.
Ya wala. Late na ang kuan ba? Late na ang result niya. Na rin nag-positive sa ilang pamilya.
Excuse me, sir.
Hmm.
Na ako'y PM tayo mo, sir.
Sige.
Wala sa na.
Okay, mauna to ha.
Oh, sir.
No? Ang pagbuhat sa project ninyo is dapat naka-advance gid mo kaysa atong leksyon. No? Dili man ginatanan ni spoon feed nato, no, para maka-create ta sa atong kaugalingong system. So we have to exert effort para makabuhat kita. So nga naman mo pud akong gibuhat sa una sa estudyante pa ko. No?
Sir, wala
Search
example,
research.
sir.
Ha?
Wala example.
Naatanan sa Google o sa YouTube ang mga example. Ang sa Jeff?
Saan man tong sa program, sir? Aw sa program?
Basta maka execute mo sa CRUD, no? Kanang CRUD maka-create, maka-delete, no? So maka-update. So kana ang mga functionalities. Hello. Jeff.
Sir, kano sana na mo i-defend, sir?
Sa final period. Sa final period.
Pero sa Lunes, sir, mag-check
Next
ako, sir.
Karong Lunes mag-check ko sa 50%. No, mo na inyong quiz.
Bali sa code, sir.
Sa code.
So, dire lang mag-present, sir.
Na? Oh yes, tagsaon ta mo katong per group. Wala siya og mahimong wala siya og partial defense, no? I-present ninyo.
So, i-discuss na mo ang flow sa coding.
Yeah. I-discuss ninyo. Imong tingog Jeff kay putol mura siya og robot di masabtan.
Sir, i-upload man mo sa Google Cluster, no?
Yep. Yes, Ami.
Kay lag ra pa kayo ako kaganina.
Mantog ra kay wa kanito bag. Nito bag kay Caday. So pangutana. Mintras na apat
Ay, sir. Sir, wait lang. Katapit ang about sa among code, sir. Unsa nga klase nga code mo, sir? Kay dagan kay ko anay.
Oh, sir, asa may magsugod, sir?
Asa pa ni magsundog o ibali among kuha ng example.
Hello. Rosemary. Ang code programming language na yung gamiton is Java, kay Java man ang atong tackle dere. No? So, asa ka magsugod? So, ikaw, asa ka magsugod sa imong project? No, dili ako ang pangutan-on nimo kung asa ka magsugod. Kay imuha man ang project nga gi-propose. Once nga ang project kanin naka-propose na siya, no? Sabotable na siya nga nakasabot ka sa imong project nga himuon. So asa man na kasagara, asa man na magsugod? Usually magsugod man gina sa login, no? So unsay code sa login. So imo nang kuanda yon, pangitag paagi unsaon. So sa sunod sa login, sa man imong system. Kung imong system is naa ka sa hotel reservation system, kailangan pa ba na siya mag-login? Diba? Dili na. Igo na siya mag-search sa iyang availability sa room. Kung naa pa ba. So, iyan na ba ang iyang
Answer code.
Ha?
Ano?
Hello? Hello, Rosemary?
Sir, mo na buhatan ng code.
Depende lagi sa imong system. Sa may system nimo nga na-approve nako.
Katong hotel and reservation, sir. Katong pang L.
Mo na inyo. So, mo to inyong kanon.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Uban, say pangutana sa uban. Ang uban, wala na pangutana?
Wala.
Hello? So, i-open inyong mga kamera balihog kay para atong picture taking nato.
Sir, haggard, sir. Wala pa kukuan.
Sige lang.
Sir, di na bumibig pa, sir. Hanggang pwede, sir. Mapaligo.
Sus, preventive ito ay ligo.
Sabagay, sir. Maway simutay, di ba, sir?
Sige na kay para natay evidence.
Nga pilag klase. Sige, sir.
May pangitaon ni Sir Giovanni. Ikaw mga hitsuraan ba, oy?
Uy, dili po, sir. Panaligo, sir.
Ang uban?
Mga ligo. Wala pa niligo, ha?
Wala pa gani na, ha? Saan lang ka makaligo? Okay. Salon, uba, sangria, minyosa, tambiga.
Wala ko ikuan, sir. Kamera, sir.
Okay, kamera. Pakalyagan, iyon ang imo.
Madlock.
Tambiga, minyosa, sangria.
Anak.
Naraw
Sige, ha?
sir. Wala ko ikuan.
Sige, mag-picture na ta.
Ay, waki, sir.
Sige. Pakalyagan, ano mang imo?
Gapo kay Lula. Uy, oo, masabta sa kaputi.
Naol, guwapa, Lola.
Sige na.
Wala na, sir. Mama,
Sige na.
sir.
Sige na. Naro na iyong akiki.
Ay, grabe, sir. Grabe, sad ka. Gwapa ka si Lola, sir. Oh.
Yan na, ginang in love yun.
Yes. Ay. Blooming good for me, sir.
Lagi, no? Sana all the way. Oy, Rosemary, imong utang, ha?
Agoy, no utang. Asa man na? Sir, mapautang ka, sir.
Ganyan, sir, oh.
Oo, utangan na si Rosemary. 70 pesos. Kaya wala daw siya pang-load ato nga time. Hapit na rin mo si Rosemary, ha? Next week, Monday.
Ay, kabalo dahil si sir sa schedule dahil. Kulbaan, Lola, ay. Kabalo, walay takas.
Sige na. So, wala na yung pangutana. So, muna to. Mag-follow up ko Monday, ha?
Yes, sir. Salamat, sir.
Bye. Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
And have a good day.
Thank you, sir.